Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Hope you are good wherever you are. In today's video, we're going to be creating this beautiful style on the screen, and it's going to be in two parts. On this first part, we are going to be creating exactly what we are seeing on the screen. This is a big bust and it's revealing. In my next video, which is the second part, I'm going to be showing you how you can create this same style but the box all covered. That is, the box area will be covered in a way that you can wear this out to anywhere, right? So if you are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do well to subscribe, and if you are through watching this part, you might want to look forward to the second part, which will be coming on after this. Tell me what you think about this video on the comment section. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you are yet to. Enjoy. We'll start by drafting our pattern, and I will be coming down 1/2 inch, and that will serve as my guideline. And at this point, you also want to determine how low you want it. If your client wants it to reveal, right? So I want mine to be 7 inches off, and that's the reason why I place it on 7 inches, leaving 1/2 inch up to turn it later on. Then 8.5 for my chest. I came down for my bust point, which is 11, under bust 15, and half length of 18 inches, and I'll make that into a straight line. Next, I'm going to be marking my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 plus 1/2 inch, and what I have is 4.75, and I'm going to mark it on my bust point, my under bust, and on my waistline. I just use my straight ruler to connect the lines. Then I came in 1/2 inch on my waist point. I'll also do that on under bust, then go out 2.5. I also mark it on my under bust, then I'll make that into a straight line. Then for my bust, I came down 1 inch, go up 1 inch. I'll use my curving part to connect the line, as you can see. Then the 4.75 that I have as my nipple line, I will add 1 inch to that and mark that on my guideline. That's what I have done there. Then I came in the dart at the upper part, 0.75 on both sides, which is what I have. So I'm just going to connect these lines. This dart will be going off. Then next, I mark my bust circumference divided by 4. Then I also measure the dart that I'm going to cut off. Then on the guideline, I determine what my chest, how wide it will be on my chest, which is 10 inches divided by 2, which is 5. That's what I marked there, plus the dart I'm going to remove. I also include it. Then I'm going to connect my guideline to my chest, which is what I've done there. Then when I cut it off, I'm going to replace the dart and my size seam allowance, which is what I have marked then. Then on my waist divided by 4 plus the 3 inches dart intake plus my 2 inches for side seam and 1 inch to join it back. That is when I cut the dart off to join it back, so I don't need to add seam allowance. Then on the guideline, I came down 1 inch and connected to the dart leg to have that sweetheart shape, right? That's what I'm connecting now. And this is all for the front pattern. Then we're going to keep this aside, then go to the back pattern. Now the back pattern is just going to be the same length with the front. I'm just going to mark my zip allowance of 1.5 inches. You know that back shaping, that's what I'm trying to do here. I just remove 1/2 inch. I'm just going to replace that later on. Then the same thing that we did for the front. Remember that we want it to be 5 inches, and that's what I did there. Then my bust circumference divided by 4 plus my size seam allowance. Then my waist circumference divided by 4 plus my 1 inch dart that I'm going to take on the waist part. plus my size seam allowance. Then I connect all my lines together. You just have to smooth any part that is sharp. Then I'm going to cut this on my fabric. Then remember that we have had all our seam allowance. I cut my lining alongside and also iron my stay on them. So you can see the way I'm placing it. That's how I'm going to sew it. This is for the front and this is for the back. Then for the down part, it's just the normal basic skirt pattern, right? So I've cut it on my fabric. I'm just showing you how I achieve it, right? So this is for the back and front alongside the lining that I've cut on my fabric already. So I'm just going to go back to my sewing machine and place and sew all this. So I've sewed this now, the back and front together. You can see that I sewed the fabric to fabric. Then I'm going to attach cup to the lining, and you can see the way I'm placing my cup on the lining. So I'm going to sew it round, after which I will join it to the down part. This is for the front. Then I'll place them right side face each other. Then sew. I'll start by sewing the down part, after which I'll flip it up. Now this is for the back. I've also joined this fabric to fabric, the upper part and the down part together, and the lining as well. So I'm going to use the lining to turn them. Then I also make a rope that is going to serve from the upper part to the back side, what will connect them, right? So you can see the way I'm placing them to sew it. Now I've already sewed it here. This is the front part. Now I've also sewed the back and also filled my zip. So I'm just going to place them right side face each other. Then sew this side with the seam allowance that I've added from the beginning. At this point, I just go ahead to shaping the side. The next thing I did, I went ahead to cut the two net parts, and I cut this in the form of A shape. I folded my fabric for the back and front, right? The two net, I fold it for the back and front. Then I come down half an inch for my guideline. Then from there, I started marking the neck depth for the front and for the back. Then I make use of 3 inches neck width. Then for the neck depth for the back, I make use of 1.5. For the front, I make use of 3 inches. Then I went ahead to mark for my shoulder 8 inches. Then I mark my chest line, then connect it to the shoulders, as you can see. So I cut this in the form of A shape, right? So I connect my slope. I came down 1 inch for my slope and connect it. Then I mark my bust circumference divided by 4. That's what I mark on the chest line. Then I add 1 inch for ease. Then 1 inch for size seam. I'm going to add that later on. Then I went up half an inch to join my shoulders, right? Then I connect the A shape to the edge. And that's what I have done there. Then I'm going to connect my armhole curve. And just mark what is remaining there, divide it by 2, then come in half an inch, then connect it to my bust divided by 4 that I've marked earlier. That's what I just connect there. Then I'm going to start cutting with the neck depth, then cut it to the A shape part, right? That's what I'm cutting right now. So just watch what I'm doing. Then I cut the neck depth for the front. Then I slit the back because I'm not going to add zip to this. I'm just going to have an opening at the back side. I removed it, then place them right side face each other. Then I'm going to go over to my sewing machine, then sew the shoulders, right? Then use my bias to turn the neck. Then I just cut that sharp parts on the A shape, the down part of it. Then I'm going to cut this part to cut on my Ankara, and this is it. So I place it. This is for the back and front. Then this is for my sleeve. Then the sleeve, I just marked my armhole, then cut it in the form of A shape as well. I just added some inches to my sleeve round measurement, right? Then I'm going to cut it out. Then I'm just going to measure some inches away and cut it on my Ankara as well. Just work with the measurement that is okay with you. That's what I have done here. I also add half an inch seam to sew it back. Then I'm going to go ahead, notch all the necessary areas so that all the points will be meeting together. So I'm going to go ahead to my sewing machine and sew this. Then I've already finished sewing the bias to turn the neck. I'm just going to attach the sleeve to the armhole, right, on these two necks. That's what I'm doing here. And this was the end result of my dress, guys. Just as I've mentioned before, in my next video I'm going to show you how you can achieve this same style, but the bust area will be all covered. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please do well to subscribe, like and share with your friends. See you in my next one.